Daggerheart stole from Dungeons and Dragons. And I couldn't be happier! They stole Mind Flayers! There's Mind Flayers in the game! But before I talk more about Mind Flayers and my excitement, introductions. Oh, wait. Not quite introductions. So folks, I'm the lead designer for Zyru, the Pan-African fantasy role-playing game, a steampunk fantasy TTRPG set in a world forged by North, South, East, West, Central, and New African myths by African and New African creators. I'm going to share the promo video and then the intro video. Enjoy, and if you want to check out the Kickstarter, see the link in the description. Hey folks, my name is VJ Harris. My pronouns are they, them, he, him, and something funny. I am a full-time tabletop role-playing designer and professional game master. You might recognize my name from things such as MCDM Productions, Arcadia, Flea Mortals, or An Elf and Cat Little Baby, volumes 1 through 4. Okay, introduction done. Let's get back to it. It's your resident Mind Flayer, Girly, and if you don't believe me when I say girly, check out this. I have this, I have this, and I have this. And here's every single video I've ever done on Mind Flayers on my TikTok, and here's all the podcasts I've been on talking about Mind Flayers. I have a whole plan for why Mind Flayers should have been the BBEG to end all BBEGs when 5th edition transitions to 6th edition. I am your one-stop shop for Mind Flayers, love, and info. Now, if you watch this video, I talked about how to make adversaries, and the example I used was an orc seramorph. In case you don't know what a seramorph is, it's essentially when a humanoid is implanted with a Mind Flayer tadpole that undergoes the seraphimorphosis process differently than your standard humanoid. In D&D, that's how you get the gnome seramorph. But Daggerheart now has their own as of the Void 1.5 update, the Cephalus Priest. The Cephalus Priest is a robe-wearing, squid-headed humanoid from the Outer Realms. Their motives and tactics are attacking the weak-minded, avoiding melee, lording over and oppressing others. So exactly like a Mind Flayer. From comparing the Cephalus Priest to all other Mind Flayers, Alhun, Mind Flayer Arcanist, Mind Flayer Clairvoyant, Mind Flayer Nothic, Mind Flayer Prophet, Mind Flayer Scion, and Ulathariad, I settled on the Mind Flayer Arcanist. Pretty much all Mind Flayers have the Psychic Blast, Mind Blast, Cerebral Suction, Extract Brain, so it was the Telekinetic Grasp that clinched it for me. The Mind Flayer Arcanist has Telekinesis, which operates pretty much identical to the Telekinetic Grab. Here, I'll prove it. Telekinesis. This section is for the creature part specifically. You can try to move a huge or smaller creature, make an ability check with your spellcasting ability contested by the creature's strength. If you win the contest, you move the creature up to 30 feet in any direction, including upward, but not beyond the range of the spell. Until the end of your next turn, the creature is restrained in your telekinetic grip. A creature lifted upward is suspended in mid-air. On subsequent rounds, you can use your action to attempt to maintain your telekinetic grip on the creature by repeating the contest. Telekinetic Grasp. Reaction. When the priest succeeds on a standard attack, you can mark a stress to restrain the target until they spend a hope to clear this condition. I do applaud them for this, truly. It's my favorite monster in D&D, and I already had plans to convert stuff, and hopefully these guys get added to their gaming license because I desperately want to use the name. I think I'm having a hard time pronouncing it, but I think the name is really cool. But we can get around that otherwise. I do have 2 questions though. Why start with the Mind Flayer Arcanist, and why is it so uninspired? I know that sounds like harsh. I couldn't think of a better word. But like, I think it's a solid start, but I think there's more that could have been done with it. So let's talk about that. I went to all of my Mind Flayer sources, 2014 Mind Flayers, 3.5 Psionic books, and Baldur's Gate 3, and found the following abilities. Meta Concert, range 20 feet, target you and up to 9 other willing psionic creatures in range, duration 1 minute, like slash level D, power points 9. You link your psychic might with other psionic creatures, creating an entity more powerful than the sum of its parts. When you manifest this power, a number of points you design flow from each participant into a collective pool. Thus, if 10 psionic creatures each contribute 10 power points, the initial total of the pooled power points is 100. One individual is chosen as the meta concert conduct by mutual consent of the other participants. This is usually the manifester, but doesn't have to be. Until the power ends, this conductor directs the efforts of the group. Misty strands of glowing power link the brows of all participants in a complex and shifting pattern. All powers of each participant are known to the mental entity core acting with the meta concert, which is under the conductor's command. This entity can't take any more action than a normal individual, but it manifests all its powers more effectively. Each participant contributing to the entity provides a cumulative +1 bonus to save DCs that apply when manifesting a power or using a psi-like ability. Likewise, each individual provides a cumulative +1 bonus when the entity makes its own saving throws in response to powers or psi-like abilities. If the psionic entity takes ability damage from a psionic attack, such as Mind Thrust, the total is divided among all the members as determined by the conductor. So if a 10-person group took 3 points of ability damage, the conductor could select 3 different participants, each to take 1 point of damage. Next, Moment of Prescience. This spell grants you a sixth sense. Once during the spell's duration, you may choose to use its effect. This spell grants you an insight bonus equal to your caster level, maximum +25, on any single attack roll, combat, maneuver, check, opposed ability, or skill check, or saving throw. Alternatively, you can apply the insight bonus to your AC against a single attack, even if flat-footed. Activating the effect doesn't take an action. You can even activate it on another creature's turn. You must choose to use the Moment of Prescience before you make the roll it is to modify. Once used, the spell ends. You can't have more than one Moment of Prescience active on you at the same time. Psychic Crush, Telepathy, Mind Affecting, Level, Scion, Wilder, 5, Display, Auditory, Manifesting Time, 1 standard action, Range, Close, which is 25 feet, plus 5 feet for every 2 levels. Target, 1 creature, duration, instantaneous, saving throw, will, partial, see text. Power resistance, yes, power points, 9. Your will abruptly and brutally crushes the mental essence of another creature, debilitating its acumen. The target must make a will save with a +4 bonus or collapse unconscious and dying at 1 hit point. If the target succeeds on the save, it takes 3d6 points of damage. Augment for every 2 additional power points you spend. This power's damage increases by 1d6 points. Inflict Pain, Display, Mental Manifesting, Time, 1 standard action, Range, Close, 25 feet to 5 feet per 2 levels. Target, 1 creature, saving throw, will, partial. You telepathically stab the mind of your foe, causing horrible agony. The subject suffers racking pain that imposes a -4 penalty on attack rolls, skill checks, and ability checks. If the target makes its save, it takes only a -2 penalty. Consuming Psychosis, area within 10 squares, attack, intelligence versus will, hit, 3d8 plus intelligence mod, psychic damage, half damage. When the target takes ongoing damage, psychic damage for this attack, it makes a melee basic attack against a random creature as a free action. If it cannot make a melee attack against any creature, it targets itself with the melee basic attack. Damn. Mind Whip. The Mind Flayer lashes out with psychic energy, targeting up to 2 creatures it can see within 60 feet of itself. Each target must succeed on a DC 16 intelligence saving throw or take 23, 48 plus 5 psychic damage and have the stun condition for 1 minute. A stunned target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. Psionic Overload. Your attacks deal an additional 1d4 psychic damage, but you take 1d4 psychic damage each turn. Psionic Backlash. When an enemy within 9 meters or 30 feet casts a spell, you can use your reaction to inflict 1d4 psychic damage to the caster per the spell's level. Force Tunnel. Charge forward, pushing all objects and creatures in your path 4 millimeters, 13 feet away from you. Okay, now let's talk about what the Daggerheart counterparts would look like. Consuming Psychosis. Action. Spend a fear to activate this ability. A target must make an instinct roll, DC 11 plus tier level. On a failed save, the target takes 3d8 magic damage and must make an attack against the nearest creature that isn't the Cephalith. On a success, the target takes half magic damage from the 3d8. Inflict Pain. Action. The Cephalith telepathically stabs the mind of its foe. The target must make an instinct roll, 11 plus tier level. On a failed save, the creature takes a penalty equal to the Cephalith's tier level. On a success, the creature takes a penalty equal to half its tier level, minimum of 1 rounded up. This effect lasts until the target spends a hope to clear it. Meta Concert. Action. Spend 2 fear for every Cephalith taking this action. The creatures link their psychic might together. For each Cephalith involved, all connected receive a +1 bonus to attack and damage. Up to 5 Cephalith can be connected in this way. Mind Reader, passive reaction. The Cephalith can read the thoughts of creatures around it. When the Cephalith is targeted by an attack, spend a fear to add a bonus equal to the creature's tier to its evasion score. Because it's reading the creature's mind. Mind Tentacles. Action. Spend 2 fear to create 6 tendrils around the Cephalith's head. 2 tentacles can be used at a time, dealing d8 equal to the creature's tier level magic damage. Moment of Prescience. Reaction. Spend a fear to activate this ability. When you are the target of an attack, gain a bonus equal to the tier of the creature to its evasion. When the creature has to make a roll for an ability or spell, it gains a bonus equal to its tier level. Psionic Backlash. Reaction. When a spell is cast within close range, the Cephalith inflict d4, number equal to the spellcaster's level, magic damage. Psionic Overload. Passive. The Cephalith deals an additional 1d4 magic damage. Psychic Crush. Action. Spend 4 fear to activate this feature. A targeted creature must make an instinct roll. On a failed save, the target has a penalty equal to the creature's tier level to attacks and damage as their mind is gripped. On a successful save, the target takes d6 equal to the tier level of the creature, magic damage. Force Tunnel. Reaction. When a Cephalith moves towards a creature, spend a fear to push every creature within close to it out to very far range. Creatures that succeed on a strength roll, 11 plus the creature's tier, are not pushed back. Now, I don't think that every single one of these should be used with every single tier, and at the time of this recording, I don't know what tier for each one, but there's a link in the description with all this cleaned up and properly tiered. Now, this could be the end of the video, but I want to talk more about different types of potential Cephalists because the Cephalith Priest is a tier 4 leader. Let's take the Minotaur Wrecker, a tier 2 bruiser. With the use of a tadpole, or whatever Daggerheart's going to call its tadpoles, it can become a Cephalith Wrecker. We can keep the stat block as is for the most part and simply add Force Tunnel reaction to it. You can also throw in Psychic Overload if you're feeling feisty. Okay, on to the Giant Rat, a tier 1 minion. What can we do with this guy? We can give it Psychic Blast from the Cephalith Priest and let it deal 3 magic damage. I think a ranged creature is pretty easy. You just make a normal version of the Cephalith, like the basic Mind Flayer. There's not really any pre-made ranged creature I think fit well. I think that's all I've got, folks, at least for now. I will be making more Cephalists and turning established monsters into that, so keep an eye out. And please enjoy what I've made. See you next time. Peace out.